Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A real pleasure to have you here with us at London Film Festival. Thanks a lot for taking the time. For people who haven't seen your film yet, can you give us a brief intro? What can they expect going in?
So our film is called 22+1, and it's about Black maternal trauma, and we follow an interracial couple who suffer a miscarriage, and for the 20 minutes of the film, we follow them as they navigate that loss and also the underlying racism within the healthcare system in the UK.
And can you tell us a bit about the genesis of the project? How did it get off the ground? Why did you want to tell the story?
Yeah, sure. So I lost my baby having a late miscarriage at 20 weeks. And I wrote a very honest piece for Vogue about kissing my cold baby's face and how beautiful he was and carrying him to the ambulance after he'd passed away. And it sort of, I'm too old to say viral, but it went viral. And, we wanted to make a story that was very real and showed the realities of pregnancy and baby loss, because it's not often shown in the way that we've shown it in the film, which is not too graphic that it's unwatchable, but we wanted to show the realities. And then I wrote a book on the subject called Beyond Grief, and I interviewed 400 women, and it became very clear very quickly that women of color were having deeply layered experiences that were negative compared to white women. So as a white woman, I couldn't take it forward myself. So I called up my great friend Pippa, who's an incredible actor and director, and said, would you do this with me? And in a heartbeat, you said yes. And then we began doing this 4.5 years ago.
Why do you think it is so important, I guess, to shine a light on these aspects of what women go through? Because like you say, I think in the past, it was the kind of thing that was maybe just swept under the carpet or hush hush. And, perhaps it doesn't give people place to grieve, but also might mean that the right support networks aren't there, whether that's in the health system or whether that's more at a societal level.
I think for the first instance, Black maternal trauma and baby loss. But if we're focusing on Black maternal trauma for a second, because that's the theme of the film, but it should just a conversation that should never be off the table. It needs to be continually talked about until proper changes have been made. And we are working alongside the NHS, and at one point have we ever wanted to feel like we're sort of bashing the NHS, because they are brilliant and they are such a fantastic institution and we are so lucky to have them. But changes need to be made, and Pippa and I were very concerned about whether we'd got it right, and they confirmed that we have. But I think baby loss and Black maternal trauma, we just have to keep talking. And I think people are getting comfortable talking about this, and I think which is great.
And maybe you can tell us a bit about the making of the film, what maybe were some of the most challenging moments, but on the flip side, maybe the most rewarding, and being able to get this out into the world.
I think definitely for me, the most challenging part was filming the night of loss. We have a very visceral night of loss scene. And I suppose because of my relationship with Pippa, it was, I found it really, we shot it on the penultimate night of the shoot, and it was really, really, really difficult to do. And lots of things going through my head. Obviously, I'm in my character and everything, but I think knowing that my very dear friend had experienced that, and it wasn't, someone couldn't just say, oh, cut, we've got to restart. That was actually her reality, was very difficult. And I watched, we watched the film last night at our premiere, and those thoughts went through my head, and this woman is amazing. She gifted her story to me and to women who look like me, and that is just a very powerful, potent thing.
When I did the research, you're given information, and you can't just sit on information that could change lives.
Yeah.
I think it's a responsibility that if you really look at what you've been given, and many people are given things every day or once in a lifetime, and if you act on those, then you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
In any circumstance for any subject.
Yeah.
As far as making the film, I think the financing was incredibly tricky for us. We would get to a point where we would have various finance partners who thought it was my story. And then we would send them the deck, and it was clearly a Black woman's story, and marketing budgets would dry up, or we would be ghosted. And it was happening too often to be a coincidence. So we know that it was the subject matter they were definitely shying away from. So this is another story that we can tell when we write about it in a year or whatever it might come.
Yeah.
The fact that, we even face challenges, all filmmakers face challenges, that we face challenges that were clearly with a racist undertone
Yeah.
or a non-palatable undertone.
Yes.
And that was my most upsetting part of this, is that we were almost at funding a lot of times,
Yeah.
and it kept falling through.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we found finance partners who believed in it
Yeah.
and supported us and the film story. So it worked in the end. But yeah.
And I guess, what does that moment then mean to you to have it here at London Film Festival, to be connecting with an audience? What has the response been like? Has anything really surprised you?
People have been very receptive to the film, and I think have connected to the story and to the couple and to the sort of journey over the 20 minutes. We are delighted to be part of the 69th BFI at London Film Festival. It was always the festival that we had hoped to be part of, because we're doing so
We're
much
doing
work.
the film here,
Yes.
and it had to be London.
Yes.
So when we got the email that we'd got in,
Yeah.
I think both of us shed a tear. And
Yeah.
we're just like, this is the one that we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you feel like it, are you feeling positive about the future? Do you think more conversation is being opened up? Do you think changes are underway, or do you think it's happening a bit slower than that?
Well, Wes Streeting stated in July that racism, for the first time ever, the government used the word racism in
Yeah.
maternity services. So that was a really positive step.
Yeah.
Wes Streeting is taking this incredibly seriously. We often see things coming forward through Parliament and it doesn't go anywhere, but I have a really good feeling that this is actually going somewhere.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens. But by using the word racism in the government now, and what the plans that are being rolled out are saying, we do have hope.
Yeah.
And it can feel like cinema, TV can be a way to connect with people in a way that perhaps news articles and headlines and
Exactly,
politicians
absolutely.
speaking like
Exactly.
maybe don't hit home in the same way.
Exactly. We're really hopeful that people will sit and watch the film and be encouraged to feel. And once you're encouraged to feel something, you will not be able to not act.
100%. Thank you so much for sharing all that.
Thank you
Really
so
appreciate
much.
us and having your
With you.
film here. And yeah, let's really hope that it has the impact that you're after. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you so much.